Oh, so a little background about me, man. I'm a San Gabriel Valley kid, SGV, Player of the Year my senior year. So, you know what I'm saying? Go look it up. But family was based in Pasadena area. I think I was in like fourth or fifth grade. You know, mom moved us out to Azusa, California. Um, Everything from A to Z in the USA. So that's kind of like where I grew up. And went to all the schools in that neighborhood, you know, grew up playing at all the parks, you know what I mean? So I was a kid who like bikes would get stolen. I done lost a few basketballs. I'm trying to beat the street lights home because I'm at the park until like, until I can't no more. And then, you know, grew up playing all sports actually, you know. Softball was really my pride and joy up until high school where I had the varsity softball coach and the varsity basketball coach both talking to my mom and myself at the time. And I wasn't knowing at the time that I could have played both sports. But I was just being this arrogant, like I'm a superstar athlete in Azusa. So I didn't try out for softball because I had to actually try out for softball. So I didn't even give it a shot. But I feel like I probably would have been a softball player if I probably would have stuck with it. But, you know, everybody makes their choices. And since I decided to stick with basketball, rest in peace to Brad Dolan. That was my high school coach who just passed. And then Joe Scherf, I call him my red dad and my Brad dad. You know, they took care of me, man. They asked me, they were the ones who started asking me like, hey, you want to play in college? I'm not thinking about that. I'm like, I ain't going to college. I'm going to the league, bro. Like, you don't know what is college, you know? And that's kind of like when Love and Basketball came out. So that's when, you know, as a kid, you like, oh, that's what college is? But they didn't show her going to class. So I'm thinking like, it's, oh, I can do that for sure. But nah, my high school coaches, man, they knew that I had to go play outside of Azusa. So if anyone knows anything about traffic in LA, it's like coming from Azusa and they had me coming out here to play with girls in Long Beach Poly. So now this is my first time playing with other black girls. I graduated high school in 2005. I think Sade was that girl back then. That's when Pat Summitt had Tennessee on Fire. You know what I mean? So now I'm playing with like all these players. And just to give a, you know, quick insight, it's like I went into my junior year with no scholarship offers yet, right? And at that time I had decided to go out with a friend, turning up. We got in a really bad car accident. We survived the car accident. And I remember my cousin telling me like, you gonna get that scholarship. And I think at the time I had like Ivy League schools. Like I had all these different schools. San Diego State was one of them. But not knowing that I didn't have the grades to get in the Ivy Leagues, whatever, boom. So she was like, you gonna get into San Diego State, which I did. So I had 2 summers. They ended up offering me a scholarship going into my senior year. First person in Azusa High School history, a female, to get a full athletic scholarship since the school opened. I made my high school Hall of Fame. My senior year, I was San Gabriel Valley Player of the Year. Went to San Diego State on a full ride. You know, that was a definite like culture shock, you know. Never really been to the beach a lot, never been away from home that much, but 2 hours was a lifetime, you know. Went from being this superstar player to playing, you know, the whole game to like no minutes. But yeah, ended up becoming a captain of my team, of my college team by my senior year. And I was the one player on the team who talked to everybody. You know, college people come in and out, you know what I mean? And me and Beth Burns, who's now at USC, like we have a really good relationship now, you know what I mean? Like we butted heads a lot, but now I see why she would get on me about like how I would come into the room, you know, because she understood that energy changes rooms and she understood the energy that I had. Because I would be like, dang, why she always saying something to me, you know what I mean? Like she came in laughing too, you know what I mean? But so I thank her for holding me to that stature of like, you know, lead all the time. You know, be mindful all the time. Use your voice, your energy for good, you know, be mindful of that.